Okay, everybody, we're going to do the initial setup for our Raspberry Pi. And here you can see I've got my Raspberry Pi. Just to review some of the ports, we've got our power port right here. We've got our HDMI 0 and our HDMI 1. We will be using the HDMI 0 port. Also, you've got your USB ports. Just pull this out real quick. Your USB ports. This is USB 2.0 and these are USB 3.0, and this is your hardwired Ethernet port. On the back, you've got the slot for your micro SD card. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to install our micro SD card. And here's the card. You'll notice that the notch at the bottom here, and we'll insert it with the label facing up. Push that in. That's as far as it's going to go. Flip it back over. Next, we'll plug in the our power cord, and if you've got an on and off switch, turn it off. Then we'll plug in the power cord, and that's a USB-C connection. And from here, we'll then take our micro HDMI and we'll plug that into HDMI 0 right there, like that. Okay. Now, for keyboard and mouse, if you have a wired keyboard and a wired mouse, that's perfect. Plug those into your USB 2 ports. I like to use a wireless keyboard and a mouse, and I'll take this adapter right here and I'll plug this into our USB 2 just like that. Okay, so we're all wired up and we're ready to turn this on. Once we power up our Raspberry Pi, it will go through a setup, and it may ask a couple of questions. Simply take the default settings and just keep saying next. You'll then be presented with the Raspberry Pi's desktop on your screen, and that's what we're showing here right now. The Raspberry Pi will then start up its welcome routine, and here we go. So welcome to the Raspberry Pi, and it's now going to step you through some other things that need to be set up. So we'll hit next. And the first thing will be to set up the country, the language, and the time zone, and select the US keyboard, and you're going to click next. From there, we'll change the default password. Default password is Raspberry in lowercase letters. The default user ID, by the way, is Pi, P-I. And then we'll select enter your new password, and we will select next. In our next screen, it will show you available wireless networks, and you're going to be looking for your home network. You're going to select that. You're going to enter in the passcode, and then you'll select next. Just be aware that when we are in the classroom, however, you will be hardwired to the classroom network, and we'll discuss that once we get into the classroom. From there, the system will go through a software update and update not only the operating system, but the various applications which are already been loaded onto your Raspberry Pi. This will take a couple of minutes, so be patient, and then select next. You get your setup is complete, and then you'll hit your restart. Allow the restart to go through, and then you'll come up with your desktop again, and we'll take it from there. We'll be setting up a couple of other settings as well as VNC prior to getting our headless configuration.